Hello everyone, I am Dr. Aarti Chandani. I am professor at Jaipuria Institute of Management. Today I am going to talk about the topic mergers and amalgamation. So let's understand the concept of mergers and acquisition, merger or absorption. So here what happens when two companies are merging, like A and B are merging, and there could be a change in the name or there may not be a change in the name. But essentially what happens, either A is merging with B or B is merging with A. It can be anything. So then it is known as merger or absorption. There is another term which is known as amalgamation, which happens when A and B, that means two companies, are merging and entirely a new entity which is being formed. So when we say new entity, it's a legal entity, a new company is being formed. While in the case of merger or absorption, a new company is not being formed. It is just that the existing company absorbs with another existing company. So then the company remains same, the company name may change, but the company essentially remains same. But when we talk about amalgamation, it is entirely a new company is being formed. So that's the difference between mergers and amalgamation. So when we talk about amalgamation is the term which is defined under the Income Tax Act. It says includes the merger of one company with another or more than two companies into a new company. So it can also happen that A, B, two companies are going to amalgamate with another company, or A, B, C going to amalgamate with the fourth company, which is D. So it can also happen that it is more than one company. I have just shown you the example. There were 6 companies which were getting merged with Accenture, so which was the 7th company. So it can happen. So normally amalgamation, it's a court process which involves the dissolution of the company or companies. So that means the existing companies will cease to exist and then a new company will be formed. And it is a process which involves pooling of interest as the shareholders carry to the extent of 75% in the value terms, which is mandatory. So amalgamation is the integration of the companies, while when we talk about merger, it is the process of integration. So business purchase, when we are purchasing another business, it is an alternative to the amalgamation. There could be different types of merger. The more popular types of horizontal merger, vertical, and conglomerate. When we talk about horizontal merger, it is a merger where the companies in the same line are actually combining. So if you see Lafarge and Holcim, those are the cement manufacturer companies. So they merged. Similarly, ICICI Limited with ICICI Bank. So again, similar domain. So then it is known as a horizontal merger. When we talk about vertical merger, so in the vertical merger, what happens? The companies may move into the supply chain. That means either it could be a backward or it could be forward. So when you are going towards the procurement side, then it becomes a backward integration, backward vertical. Or when you move towards the distribution side, that means you are producing a product. When you are moving towards procuring the raw material, then it is like a backward integration, backward vertical. Or when you are selling those goods and you are going to acquire a company which is selling, then it is a forward integration or vertical merger. So there are 2 types within that also. So the whole essence of this is that you are moving into the supply chain or you are moving into the value chain. Then the conglomerate mergers could be where you are actually merging, and this is not related to your domain, but you are sort of diversifying. You are you are entering into a market. Either it could be a different geography, or it could be a different product, or it could be a different service. So like you can see that GE, which General Electric, entered into the TV segment, which was not related to their core business. So that could be a conglomerate merger. So now, well, let's understand what is amalgamation. So amalgamation and merger are not defined under the Companies Act. So in Companies Act, it defines absorption, but not the mergers and amalgamation. The Income Tax Act defines the amalgamation. So as per the mergers and acquisition bylaw, so it says that transfer by sale of undertaking, that means all assets and all liabilities. Now this is dealt with 394 and 395 sections of the Companies Act. Then transfer of sale of the assets only when it is just the transfer of sale by asset, that's known as slump sale. Then again, it is dealt under section 293(1)(a) of Companies Act. and transfer by sale of shares. Now, this is related to unlisted companies subject to the company law, and under for listed companies, it is as per the takeover code. Now, I have already discussed about amalgamation, which is horizontal, vertical, and conglomerate. These are some of the examples which you can see. In case of horizontal, it was Novartis and Glaxo. Then you have that Daimler-Benz with Chrysler, ArcelorMittal. So you can see these are some of the examples where it was in the same domain. Times Bank merged with the HDFC Bank. So these are some of the examples. Vertical merger, again, Reliance Industries with Reliance Petrochemicals. Then conglomerate, it is HUL, no Ponds, Brook Bond, Brook Bond with Lipton, AOL with Time Warner. So these are some conglomerate mergers which have happened. So here, when we talk about the terms which are being used in the mergers, so amalgamation is a generic word which is used to denote the outcome of integration of two or more companies into a single company. So as we discussed that it is either two or more than two, and those result in a new companies. And merger, it is an amalgamation of two companies where one of the company gets transferred into another company and loses its existence. So there will be only one company which exists, which is going to be there. And here, when we talk about amalgamation, both the companies ceases to exist. It is the new company which is actually going to be formed. Now let's understand what could be the motives of the merger. So when we talk about motives, first motive is that the companies are looking to merge because they want to achieve the synergy. As I explained, synergy is 1 plus 1 is more than 2. So you are trying to become much more bigger than what individually both companies were there. You also want to become a market leader. So again, that could be one of the motive of mergers and acquisition. Then economies of scale. So here it could happen that when you are merging with another company or acquiring another company, you can achieve the economies of scale. In some cases, the company go for mergers because they want to get the tax benefit also. So if you are having the losses which you want to carry forward or which you want to have the benefit. So there are some different tax rules which allow you to get the tax benefit if you acquire a company which is loss making. So you can set off your profits against those losses. So some cases the companies may go for those tax benefits also. The next objective could be access to the technology. That means as a company, I may not have technology or I want to acquire a technology which another company is having, but that company is not willing to give me the technology. So the whole idea is that I acquire the company. When I acquire the company, I automatically get the technology. So that can also be one of the motive. There could be another reason which is related to the competition. So that means if there is another company which is a competitor of mine in the same industry, I want to reduce the competition by acquiring that. So that will actually help me to reduce the competition. So that could be competitive strategy or one of the reason for the merger. And there could be another reason for merger that I want to diversify into a particular geography. It could be within a particular country or outside the country also. For example, if I want to expand my business to Zambia. Now, the easier way would be that I acquire a company in Zambia and then I start operating there because the company is already there, rather than establishing my company there. So, I mean, this could be one example here. So, these are some of the motives which are there for the companies when they look for mergers for the growth or for diversification, or they could be, multiple more reasons. So, that's all about mergers today, and then we'll continue our discussion on mergers. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.